Nigel, as substitutions go, that's certainly one that changed the game, wasn't it? 𝘀𝗶𝗰𝗁𝗲 off the bench at half-time and scores, both the goals.
Enforced, unfortunately. Ollie Clarke felt his hamstring, but don't have much more of an impact. We had a little dig on Tuesday night that the subs that came on weren't quite at the speed of the game. I said to him to come on and win the game. That's the sort of impact you want your substitutes to have. And that just proves, you pick the 11. It's not always about the 11.
Yeah, I think in the first half, it had a couple of chances, but we're lacking that creativity in the final third in the end.
Yeah, it was a difficult pitch today. It was a completely different game to the other night. It was a little bit tricky, the pitch, in terms of getting it down and playing fluid football. And Walsall are an unbelievably honest side who came to stop us playing and also be a threat like they were at their place with the lad on the break. And he caused us problems all game.
Yeah, they certainly had a lot of experience, didn't they? And especially trying to nullify the threat of 𝘀𝗂𝗰𝗄𝗃 and 𝘀𝗂𝗏, and they did that for the first half.
They did. We had enough situations though and chances. Didn't quite drop for us in the box, but also those two didn't do enough to create a clear-cut chance. Jordan should have squared one back when he shot, and there was a couple where 𝘀𝗀𝗏𝗏 should have been in there instead of loitering around on the edge of the box. But said to him at half-time, just don't concede today. And I thought the turning point of the game wasn't the first goal, it was a few minutes before that when 𝘀𝗂𝗏 kept one out on the line.
Yeah. Heroic defending, wasn't it? I think once George Miller got into the penalty area, you were thinking, he's going to finish it off. But again, heroic defending from 𝘀𝗂𝗏, and obviously pivotal because it led to the opening goal.
Yeah, typifies the spirit and the teamwork and that sort of thing. He's back in there as a midfielder. Hit him in the face actually, keeping it out of the goal, and then 2-3 minutes later, long throw, and we get the break from it. We're 1-0 up.
Yeah. And then the second goal, the icing on the cake in the end, a second one for 𝘀𝗀𝗏𝗁𝗲, who's been sort of in and out the side really, hasn't he, this season? But he certainly, certainly deserved his goals.
Yeah, he did. Wasn't too good in the first 10 minutes when he came on. Should have got a shot off the edge of the box, didn't, and then gave a daft free kick away in the first 5 minutes or so. But after that, he settled down, and it was this sort of game in his conditions today. I thought, scrappy, hard fought. Difficult to get the ball down and play, but he's come up with two very good finishes. It's lovely to go and get that second one, even with 3 minutes to go, to go and get that second one, and just so we're not hanging on, because usually we're one goal games, and it's much nicer when you get that cushion.
Yeah, I mean the 2 goals and a clean sheet as well, something that you've been trying to push for in recent games as well. In fact, the last 3 games before this have been 3-2. How pleasing are you? How pleasing is it for you to get a clean sheet?
That was the thing. So we talked about it and just said to the players before the game, don't concede. And I think you'll always get our quality, or we'll get a break or something if we put good quality balls into the box. And we got that today. And I thought Bish had a couple of saves. I thought he made a brilliant save in the first half again when Miller were one-handed one way, cut in from the right. Similar position to which 𝘀𝗀𝗏𝗁𝗁𝗍 scored. And that's what kept us in the game as well. But I thought overall we had enough to win the game today, and did enough to win the game.
Yeah, you certainly did. You spoke about the Swindon game on Tuesday night, how important that was. Compared to that one, just how important is this one?
It felt more important because, we were off the back of Middlesbrough, we were on a high despite the defeat and the crowd and the performance, and then we beat one of the top teams in Swindon, and sometimes they're a little bit easier, and you get the Walsalls who come, a good experienced team, and I say we knew they would cause us problems today, so it's lovely to get over that hurdle.
And not only have you got over that hurdle, but you put yourself in a great position into the top 7 for the first time in a while. Just how pleasing is it that you got yourselves in there?
Brilliant. After the first 3 games of the season, it must have been, and then we alarmingly dropped out of it, right to second bottom. But we're looking up rather than down, which is nice. And I think we're in good spirits going to the runaway leaders on Tuesday.
Yeah, it's going to be a very tough game, isn't it, at Forest Green on Tuesday night? But we'll go back to the fans again, because they were in full throttle, full support as well. Even when things weren't quite going your way in the first and early parts of the second half, they certainly got behind you.
Yeah, and that's when every game's not going to be brilliant. It's not going to be play fluid, fluent, great football, create lots of chances, and they appreciate that and they know that. As long as they see that effort, James Perch has just said that downstairs, as long as that effort's there, he says we'll always get a bit of quality or something like that will shine through. But that's the bottom line, and it is for us and the supporters.
Yeah. And no Ryan Stirk in the 18 this afternoon. What's the latest with him?
He tested positive after the game on Tuesday night and Wednesday, I think. So should be, if he gets a couple of negatives, then he should be available for Tuesday.
And people are going to be asking me to ask you about Jonjo O'Toole. What's the latest with him? Is it still under negotiation?
It is, but there's going to be, I think we've got a deadline of Monday, so there'll be one way or another. We'll get an announcement out on Monday.
Yeah. And Ollie Clarke, you brought him off at half time. What's the early prognosis there of his hamstring?
Just tightened up, so we'll see how he is over the weekend, but I would think he would be a doubt. George Lapsley's not too far away, and if we can get Ryan Sturt back involved as well, that'll cover us a bit more in midfield, but we'll see how he is.
Well done today, Nigel. Congratulations. Thank you.